All right. Can everybody hear everybody?
Hello.
Yes. All right. Welcome to this week's What the Heck. We have Isaac and Forrestine. What's up, Nightbot? How's it going? Hey, Zach Nelson, Frederick. All right, we got a party. Um,
I love that Nightbot is a participant. That's great.
well, you got to be nice to the robots sometimes, you know. Well, I prefer all the time, but sometimes they make it so hard. Anyway, let's do really fast intros. Who are you, and what is the latest, the most recent modular YouTube video that you watched? This goes for like folks in the chat too, just because I'm like curious. I also don't remember what mine is, so I'm going to look that up real quick. Why don't we start with Isaac?
Hi, I'm Isaac. I do synthesizer things sometimes, make music, hardware occasionally. Um, my most recently watched synthesizer YouTube video, I'm trying to think. I think I was looking at one of. Oh, I'm forgetting his name. He's the dude who's got the really pretty things. He has like a teletype and a Just Friends. He just did a Qubit Nautilus video.
Oh, that's
Matt
cool.
something, I think. Hold
Maths?
on. No, it was like Matt Lowry. Hold
Oh,
on.
cool.
Yeah, Matt Lowry. I watched his video, or a little bit of his video on minimalism, which was cool. I didn't get all the way through it because he takes a very long time to say much of anything, but I do appreciate his aesthetic and I like the music. So I think that was
That's cool.
minimalism, yeah.
That's cool. Um, Feel free to like drop that name in the chat if you've got that open.
Yeah, let me
Oh, yeah.
put that.
Because like, why not share? Forstein.
Hi, I'm Forrestine. I make weird ambient things, and I was trying to figure out the last video I watched, and I was like looking at my history just now, like, ah! And I so fell off watching YouTube modular videos because of the product announcements that just like started driving me nuts. So the last one I watched was actually the Heinbach Folktech Omnichord video because my partner fixed one for a friend, and then we were like, "Is it fixed? Is this what it's supposed to be doing?" So that was the last one.
Yeah.
That's I've been in that situation with, in particular, an error instruments module,
Yeah,
and it turns out that's just how it's
yeah,
supposed to
That's
sound.
just
it
how
was
it does.
fixed.
Which is, I'm not complaining, by the way. This was like user error, but anyway, I'm X7. I make like pretty mediocre like EDM or something. I don't know. It's not really techno. Because I looked up the techno definition recently on Wikipedia. Now I
Okay, but
understand
Oh
you
yeah.
don't get to say
understand the techno.
mediocre though. That's illegal on the stream.
Uh, Good point.
I am curious
Well, I
how
was just
like
listening to some Spookfest stuff that made me want to commit some low key crime. So there we go. There's a low key
There you go.
crime. Um, and the most recent one I watched actually was a Colorado modular artist, Fox Mnemonic, which I'll actually just link the video. Hold on, let me pull that up. Copy the link. It'll have all the like tracking info, I'm sure. Anyway, Vox Mnemonic does like pretty intense industrial music with a pretty smallish setup and a beat step pro. Like it's pretty cool. I think Vox Mnemonic if is the one that got me started with the Dope for Theremin module, just because I saw that and I was like, what is happening? I want that. Like, come on. So yeah, shout out to Vox.
that's rad.
But yeah, also like we talk a lot about a lot of stuff today. Like right now, I just checked the Clocktober playlist because sample timbre was pretty minimal, and it's been pretty minimal. But Clocktober has come in like a storm. There are 13, at least 13
Oh,
uh,
nice.
different streams, and there's still time. We got another day or two, so I'm gonna probably try to do something with that tonight or tomorrow evening, because why not? Um,
I forgot that it was the end of October. I should do a Clocktober thing too.
like we've got time, is just what
Yes.
I'm saying. Uh,
We
make
can
it
buy
so that it's
time.
hard for me to do the highlight reel.
Yeah.
Like that's the goal.
Yeah, we want too
Um,
many things to talk about. That's nice.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. More
yeah,
content. I've
yeah.
always
More.
been I've been wanting to do like a spooky Halloween stream, and I realized I could make it a spooky Halloween Clocktober stream
Yeah,
maybe.
you could.
It like goes really well. Wonky
It
clonk
does,
clock
yeah.
wonky clonk.
Plonk.
Sure.
Clonk.
Yeah,
There's
there's
not
been
is
some
there a,
really good ones.
there's not a module called Clonk, but there's Plonk. Or no, is it Plink? Plinky? Plonk?
There's Plinky and
Plonk,
Plonk and
And then there's
plinky,
Clank,
and
the
thonk, and
chaos.
clank. Um,
I don't think there's a Clonk yet though.
uh, yes. Um,
Mm.
yeah, Frederick did one. I watched that one most recently of those. But do we have clocks? Like Frederick's was really fun. I very much appreciate that it started with like actual clock sounds.
Mm.
yeah, I love all of these different interpretations.
Mhm.
I I think the one I remember the most that I really liked was Enthusiastic Electrons did one with an actual metronome,
Hmm.
and I just the framing of it, like the actual video, was just like so beautifully shot, and the metronome was like syncing. It was like using an envelope follower to sync the O coast to it, or the O control or something to it. It
Yeah,
was just super cool. Um,
that's cool. That's cool.
no, totally dope.
Um, in other pseudo news, Spookfest is happening right this second, like on the Magpie Pirates channel, and I just want to shout out because right now Foot is playing, and they just did like an incredible like guitar ambient thing that was it made you want to commit crime. Basically, that's where I was coming from there. Um, and I would not judge you if you like hopped over there and listened to that while like I'm doing that now too. So anyway, that's happening. There's been a lot of cool artists. Like this morning, I was kind of blown away by Battery Operated. They like did a really cool set, and they used an old cassette tape, like relaxed birthing or something.
Oh my god, that sounds
Of
amazing.
course, like narrated by a dude, right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
but it was like pretty perfect for what they performed. It was pretty funny. Um,
Speaking of cassettes,
yeah.
I've been getting really into. I'm beginning kind of back into cassettes, I guess.
Yes.
And so I've been there's a thrift shop near the university that I've been going to and picking up stuff. I recently got a hold of like Portishead Dummy. Oh my god, the
Nice.
glare on cassette, and some other ones. A friend of mine actually gave me. Uh, my friend Fraser gave me some of his modular music on cassette, which is
Ooh,
pretty
that's
cool
Nice.
too.
cool. I should
So
do that. That's
Oh,
I've
cool.
been
that's
thinking of doing
great.
that.
Oh
Yeah,
my
this one's
goodness.
bluish, and then I also got one of the new Bitch and Baja's releases, which is also I think they use a lot of modular synth in general. Super good stuff.
I'm gonna
Baja
try
labels.
doing that. I'm gonna try recording a set because I got a local friend, donated a tape recorder player thing. I don't know what
Yeah,
this is
like
called.
a
The big
deck.
ones that like sit on, yeah, like under a VCR or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I could try that. That'd be a cool way to like raise a few bucks for charity or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been
I was
wanting.
also given one of those tape recorders, but it's doesn't work. The tape head is messed up. I'm gonna
Oh.
put it back from whence it came on the boulevard.
I've been wanting to do a limited cassette release of one of or more of my albums at some point. I think I've been talking. My dad has been working on. We've been kind of working on maybe trying to get like a new agey sort of cassette label going, and so it'd be fun to release some stuff under that. Might make like a new age ambient pseudonym or something to put stuff out under.
That would be cool. I don't know why that reminds me of like oh, what's her name? Why can't I remember her name? She's like one of the biggest influences in modular, and she's
Suzanne
amazing.
Ciani.
Siani, yeah, she had a
Yeah.
bunch of really
Yeah.
cool new age stuff. Has she's not like dead or
Yeah,
anything.
no, she's
She's
great, and
No,
Cassette
yeah,
is
she had
super
the really
cool.
cool Buchla stuff, and then a New Age phase, and then came
yeah,
back to Buchla.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all good. Yeah, I mean that's the reason I brought up okay well, no, it's not okay, it's battery operated was the artist,
Mm-hmm.
because they had a lot of cool tape things. Like they had a kalimba that's got a essentially that cassette that is in my modular built into it, so it's
Oh
got a
my
tape loop
god.
on it, so like you get like really lo-fi, like it goes directly from kalimba into tape loop into your speaker. Like that's pretty
What?
cool.
That is
um,
insane. Oh
Lots
my
of little
god.
things like that just made it really fun, I thought. So it
I
got
need
me
to find
fired
one of
up.
those. That's
Yeah,
really cool. I've seen the Error Instruments makes mic'd up kalimbas with little contact mics or whatever on them, which I think are
yeah.
running.
I
Um,
mean, I think it's probably all the same circuit that everybody reuses, but like, yeah, I have the Error
yeah.
Instruments Loopman
Mm-hmm.
thing.
I have a Xavier Gazan module that was his like it was one of the 8 like prototypes for his CV tape station.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing. It can't record, it just plays, but it has CV controlled varispeed, which is pretty
Ooh.
wild. It's super janky. It's really really difficult to even get it to actually start moving.
Oh.
And then like because you
yeah,
have to like mess with it. It has like a voltage offset and then it's got the
yeah, yeah.
speed
Oh
and you kind of
no.
have to like mess with both of them. And for some reason the pots are like sideways. They're like sideways tiny trim pots.
Are they-
It's super weird, but it does work, and you can kind of barely set it so that you can make it so it like can slowly speed up or slow down with an LFO or something wild like that. You know, it's just like he's got some cool videos messing with it. A little eccentric. It's also the worst tape machine I've ever heard in my life. It's perfect. It's horrible. It completely mangles your audio, and it's
oh yeah,
great.
oh yeah.
Well, like,
That's
is anybody a Techmoan fan? Because, like, he always says that all the tape players use the same mechanism now.
it's all the
That
same.
yeah. I just watched like a 50-minute YouTube documentary on mini disc,
Yes!
and seriously
Very
considered
relaxing.
buying. Yeah, I seriously was like, because he was like, oh, there are mini disc 8 tracks that people made at some point,
What?
and I like looked on eBay and I found one for like $80 that was like an 8 track with
Oh my
two
god.
aux sends and mixing and all that shit, and then it records 8 digital tracks to a fucking mini disc that you just have there. I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. Apparently, like vaporwave labels and stuff still use mini disc, and like there are some small artists who will release stuff on mini disc just for the nostalgia or whatever.
That's
yeah,
But
awesome.
yeah, it's
Joe Arias
yeah,
mm,
in EMS has been
yeah.
doing answering machine micro cassette releases.
that's awesome. Oh my
Those are
god.
cool. Those are
I
cool. Gives you an excuse to go get an answering machine.
Yeah.
I used a lot of actually. I have floating around at home somewhere. I used to when I was messing around with this cassette player that I have now. I have a Marantz PMD 201, and when I was messing with kind of the initial experiments of trying to just record stuff to tape and slow it down and speed it up and all that, or you can record stuff while it's moving really slowly and then it will be sped
yeah.
up when you play it back. But I found at a Goodwill an AT&T answering machine incoming message tape that was so you would put it in your answering machine, and so I have like one of those just full of my music, and it's like it's a wonderful little item.
That's
I
Ah,
cool.
want
yeah, just like
more.
very satisfying object. Be right
Yeah,
back.
Yeah.
totally.
Yes. Yes.
Cassettes are cool.
Wait, what pedal is that?
Oh, oh, let's see. Which pedal?
I'm wondering if it's that one like chorusy vibrato one.
Wait, where is it? Where is it? I don't see
Is that a pedal? That red thing? Or am
that
I
red
just
thing.
imagining that?
I think it's just a
No, this.
shelf.
It's,
It's like an organizer, one of those like vertical
oh yeah, 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 yeah,
stationary
yeah. Maybe
organizer.
so.
I don't know.
Find out after the break.
Find out after the break. After the break. Yeah.
yeah. Another cool thing is with the battery operated. They have an Etsy store with some tape loops and stuff, which I somehow missed when I was looking up tape loops because I'm not at all interested in like physically like cutting tapes and doing that. Like I don't need like you only need like one or
Mm.
two, right? Um,
I just bought some blanks I actually found at
yeah,
whatever, some
yeah,
like nice blanks. So I'm gonna maybe try chopping them up and doing some tape loop stuff.
yeah. It doesn't take much, just a little some scissors and a I think like scotch tape or something. But they have
Yeah.
one that's got like extra little wheels
Oh
in
wow.
it that don't interfere. And there's like a
Oh, I'm
hole in
seeing
one
it now.
side where you can like reach in and physically move one to like slow down, like to distort it,
What?
like a little control almost, like a physical control. So
Oh.
that was something I thought was pretty and clever. So I'll probably try to pick one of those up if they're ever in stock. So
Oh, they're in the UK though. Ooh,
yeah,
nice. Okay, I might order one of these. 5 reel loop, but the fifth reel is not glued in place, allowing it to move around and affect the
right,
tape loop's playback at random.
right. Isn't that pretty cool?
That's
Like
amazing. Yeah, wow. That's cool. I'll drop this link in the chat. But
I love that we're at the point where we're like, let's make tapes worse.
Yeah. This is
like
the
Everyone
we
tape
who's
have
ever
player.
like fought tapes are like, no.
This is
Like,
the tape player I'm going to fix since they all have the same crappy mechanism
that's
anyway. It's
is that
also
a
a
oh my
TV and
screen?
a radio.
What is on the
that is
left?
awesome. Is that a TV on it?
Yeah, it's a
Oh
black and
my
white TV.
goodness.
And
That's
because it
amazing.
wants like 6D batteries, I could stick like a
Yeah.
Raspberry Pi in there probably.
Oh
Because
yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's a
I'm
you
huge
can.
positive
hole.
like needless
That's
mustard could
so
definitely like
cool.
wrangle that TV into a little lo-fi
That is
oscilloscope if they want to.
awesome.
Like
Ooh, yeah. So
That would be so cool. Or you could those D
tape player
batteries
needs a new
also
belt though.
yeah, yeah,
you can 3D print like little cans that will hold AA batteries. So you can put rechargeable AA's
yeah.
in D sized packages
That's
and then
also cool.
put
I
them in
I got a
there.
power adapter that fits, so I don't need
That's
to use
good.
the battery compartment. So now I just have a nice big space to put something in there. So
Perfect.
That's
Perfect.
awesome. That is so cool. Uh,
Zach is asking if we've seen Heinbach's video on destructive tape loops. I
I
have.
yes,
have.
We have.
Yes.
There's your answer.
Good. Something to
Arena
talk
said
about.
yes. End
Next
of
question.
conversation.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's a
think
really
that
cool video. For those who haven't seen it, Heinbach has, I think, quite a range of different tape machines, including like reel to reel. And those are interesting in that you can like essentially pull the tape itself off and wrap it around a pole or something. So it's really far away and it still
mm,
works, functions fine. And what Heimbach was doing is like putting like knife blades against the tape. So as it plays over time, it slowly wears down the strip, which actually turned out to be harder than he thought.
It took so
Um,
long.
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
but on the tape were recorded like he basically read like hateful comments from his YouTube comment section
Mm-hmm.
and watched, as over time they deteriorated. It was pretty cool. It was probably super cathartic.
Yeah. A
Yeah,
lot of it was
he
just scraping the goop off the tape, like the magnetic stuff.
Yeah,
mm, he also did
yeah,
another one at some point with where he had like he had it in like an art gallery that people could actually go visit, and it was with like German fascist speeches. So there's like Nazi
Yeah.
speeches and stuff on those loops. As a protest because there was like a German music festival that was like
yeah,
censoring people or whatever.
yeah,
Um, Super cool stuff. It's really like kind of a thing of like the medium actually being a part of the art, which I
Yeah.
love
yeah.
to see.
And yeah, so like and subscribe to Heimbach's channel. Um,
Heimbach is
Subscribe.
cool. Everything that Heimbach does some really really neat
yeah.
stuff. I actually saw, speaking of like loops, I remember on the first in Edinburgh, so not Glasgow, but in Edinburgh, there is there's a monthly synth night, modular ambient whatever night called Wavetable, and I remember going to the first one. It's organized by Oz from Expert Sleepers, and
Mhm.
I remember going to the first one, and I don't remember if it was him or if it was one of the other people who had brought a reel to reel that they were using as part of their performance, and they had a really long loop on it that was longer than the
Yeah.
distance between the reels or whatever. So we had like a can of beans that
Yeah.
was just like moved back enough so that they would just run around the can. And I was like, "Are you using that for like to like introduce interference or whatever?" He's like, "Oh no, it's just the right size. It doesn't really do
Yeah.
anything." So I was like, "Fair enough,"
Hey, bring the
because
beans
it's
from home.
heavy.
I love it.
Yeah, it's like at the can there. Um, I have a picture of it somewhere. It was fantastic.
That's so cool. Yeah, tape, like I think physical mediums are a lot of fun for that reason. Like, are they
Mm,
like better in any way than, a tape effect plugin or modular or whatever? Like, no, but
just different.
there's a certain amount of joy they bring. Like, my tape module is like literally a pain in the ass to set up and use.
Yeah.
Like, there's
That's
no other way to put it. But once it's going, like, I love it. I don't know.
something about just like the mechanical whirring, just the clicking things in when you
Yeah.
open up the tape thing. It's like
Oh, it's
when you like
Oh
noisy.
yeah.
click
Yeah.
it in.
It's
I
like
actually have it. Wait, hold on. I have a microphone here.
But it, like, while you're doing
it's big
that,
buttons.
oh, go ahead. Yeah, big buttons. The buttons are really nice, but I'm always scared because I don't want to. I don't know if any of you have ever tried like recording on a 6 second tape loop, but there's like a little gap somewhere on there where where it's like taped, the tape is taped together.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a horrible way to say it, but it's accurate.
Keep tape. Yeah.
Um, is reconnected, so there's
Attached.
going to be a little gap where that magnetism isn't just quite getting through to the reader. So recording your loop so that times nicely is like mysticism. Like, when you get it right, you're like, okay, I never want to record on this tape again. It's
Yeah.
perfect forever. Like,
Yeah, yeah. It'd be
Yeah.
nice
Because like
to.
when I'm using like my looper, I just record another layer where I fill the gap in.
yeah,
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 exactly.
no,
I can't even get my looper working. I have a 4MS a dual looping delay. I can't. I'm awful at using it like a looper, and it's like specifically built for looping or whatever. I just
loopers
can't.
are really difficult, and that's something I've been playing with my guitar stuff just to like get better at timing because they're essentially like a hardcore metronome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you
Yeah.
mess
You
up,
can
you
have something
hear it.
perfectly timed, and then the loop time is not right,
Oh,
and
oh,
then
oh,
the
hold
whole
on.
thing goes. Blip.
Hold on. EMS is being advertised right now on
Ah!
Oh my
Spookfest.
god.
Woo!
Woo!
Oh
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, this like
That
made me tear up when I saw it the
I
first
teared
time.
up too. I was
that
like, felt like
promo
a
is
dork.
so cool. It's so cool. I love it. The part with Evie just being like, "We are not
Oh
Yeah.
my
robots."
gosh,
It's so
perfect
It's
cut.
perfect.
it's so hype. It's great.
That's happening right now. Yes.
Go see it. Yes, that's awesome. Uh, yeah, no, I like also enthusiastic electrons did a really good job of like putting them
Yeah.
all together so it
Yes.
Yeah.
sounded almost even cohesive. It was like
Almost like
the
he's an
do do
editor or
do do
something.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was blown away. Like, um I was asked if we wanted to cross promote a bit, like, just not even cross promote. They didn't even ask for that, but like I do it anyway because I think they're cool. And they were like, "Yeah, you want to run like a 30 second to a minute spot?" And I was like, "I don't know. Let me ask." And I asked, and two folks said they'd be interested. Enthusiastic being one of them, and um, being familiar with volunteer stuff, like, I have really low expectations. Like,
Yeah.
life happens. Like, there's no judgment here. Like, I was like, okay, two people volunteered. There's a slight chance we'll have a video.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and the video produced was like,
Aha.
I
and I
mean,
have full confidence if the other video had been produced, it would also be next level. So like, we have some pretty like enthusiastic, like really good job on that. That was
that's
so
awesome.
cool.
Yes. Totally great. Um, it feels really special
Um,
because I guess we also recently hit 1,000 members, didn't we?
Yeah.
Um,
And those
so
were
it's
all
kind of
that was a supercut from our 2 year show, plus a couple of other
mm,
people. And yeah, it was just like so cool to see. And it was like, we are cool actually.
we are cool. Trust me, we're cool guys.
I mean, we are, like, when you put it together like that, like, we all have different tastes in music. Let's put it that
Mm,
way, right? Um, there are some things that I just can't listen to for an hour,
Yeah.
but when there's an 8 second clip of it, you're like, or an 8 frame clip of it or something, like, and all of them are together, you're like, every single one of those is cool as heck. Like there's
And different.
no, yeah, it was
Yeah.
so cool.
It's
Um,
incredible seeing the absolute like range of what people put out here because some of it's really chill, some of it's really techno-y, some of it's like, I mean, we've gotten some really there. Some of it's like poetry. I mean,
Yeah.
it's great.
yeah, fully agree. Um,
Yes, the
and
super
that
cut
was
is
just
out.
like a taste, like, right, like that was, I think most of those were from like one stream train, the birthday stream
Yeah.
train.
Yeah.
And think of all of the random streams we've had over what, 2 years now, something like
Hmm.
that.
Oh man,
Like
yeah.
that's, there's a lot of good stuff out there.
Did we ever get like a number on actually the number of streams that has been streamed on here that's not hold music?
I don't know.
Or is
I
I
that
don't
don't.
know if
that's
there's a
maybe not
way.
I would
that
guess
might
it's
not
in
be a
like
thing.
the hundreds or maybe even thousands. Like there's
Probably
been a lot of
That's
thousands
streams.
because like I just
probably.
did 75 and you've done more than me. And then
Yeah,
there's everybody else.
Mm.
And there's also all the stuff that didn't get because the first like 4 months we didn't actually archive every stream. We only archived some of them.
yeah,
But some of them
Oh
just went
wow.
away.
yeah.
Like it was a conscious decision to start to archive them all. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot.
There is a lot. Yeah. It's cool. I love getting to go over things. Though the one thing is, I would like it. I would. It would be cool at some point if we figure out how to get like artist playlists. Would be really cool. Um, so we could have it. So you could be like, oh yeah, here's all of Hex 7 streams in one folder or whatever. Or
That may have
playlist.
happened. You should
Did
check
that
the YouTube.
happen?
It looks very nice.
I did see it. I did see it. Looked very nice, but I'm not.
Yeah, it made it really easy to find stuff when I was looking for it this morning.
Mm.
It's so good, so good.
Oh yeah, we've got all the what the hex. Oh right, we've also got the instructional ones. I was gonna do an instructional one later today. I think if I'm still feeling it.
Yeah, I want to
That's
do more of that stuff. Not so much on the modular side because I actually think, weirdly, most of the modules have like really good videos out there.
Hmm.
So, and
mm-hmm.
I'm not like the most creative in terms of like, let's turn maths into like prolific sequencer or whatever like the
Yeah.
thing is, but um, about some of the other gear that I use in conjunction. So I don't, they may not be, may not end up on EMS. We'll see.
That's always really interesting though, seeing people being like, "Oh yeah, here's how I mix stuff," or
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
whatever.
great.
Here's how I use my sequencer. Like your Hapax video, I really like. It's just that kind of thing where it's maybe not specifically modular gear, but it's
Yeah,
just like kind of a more general workflow thing.
yeah,
I was gonna
yeah.
do a stream of maybe routing a circuit board in KiCad if people want to see how I do that.
Yeah.
That would be
Yes.
fun.
Yeah, we need more of that actually. That would be really cool because we do have a pretty solid DIY contingent at this point of
Hmm.
folks like
Yeah.
actually producing modules, which is like to me,
It's cool.
um, like the
Yeah, like
extent. Yeah,
I would also like to do some like workflow videos or something, but like they're I always forget I even have a microphone.
Yeah.
And then I forget to say anything.
Someone needs to
Like,
like you just need to like narrate a patch from scratch and kind of like go through your thought process of that kind of
yeah,
thing.
that's what happens
Super
is
cool.
I
Being
stop
like,
remembering that I have a mic.
yeah. For me, it was like a
mm,
setup issue, but I think at this point I have a pretty decent way to do it quickly. Like that's the thing. I don't want to do it if I have to like move all my cameras
Yeah,
around and
that's the
like put
problem.
a
yeah,
light on my face or something because like
but
I do like showing my face on those particular videos as well as the thing because otherwise I have to do like the hand thing like
Yeah,
while talking it's just a hand and a a piece of gear.
it's also more accessible to have your face there, I find. Like SynthDad does it too, and I'm like, wow, I can understand what you're saying. It's like
mhm.
a weird thing where you can see the person's mouth moving
Yeah,
as
Or
well.
like
yeah.
Cuckoo's thing where he always has like a mirror
Yeah,
pointed
I
at
love
his
the
face
mirror.
is always fun.
Well, I've got the MS10 brought back with it a few beautiful things. One, I had that old light in the basement that in the laundry room that was like on my face all the time and had a really nice ambience. I
Hmm.
just couldn't figure out how to set it up, and then I was like, well, I can't see the MS10 like controls because it's kind of set back in the shade. So I like was inspired to go get that light and put it back in. I'm like, holy cow, that made a huge difference. And then I have
Yeah.
like a
Nice.
fixed camera like glued to the bottom of the shelf. Like so, like I'm okay now to do more of that easily.
Yeah, that's dope. I recently reorganized my whole setup so the mini log is smack dab in the middle of it, and
Mm.
so that's fun as well. I need to get an actual tripod because I use my phone, or I have a tripod. I have a phone that I use as a webcam. I do not have a uh, tripod phone mount thing, and
I
Ah, well, you
recommend
can
that.
just do what I did.
Like get the one that like I think it was a little more expensive, but I have
if anyone
one.
has links to good ones that are
Yeah, I'll
not
send you a
that
link.
crazy expensive,
But I
yeah.
have one that's like, I don't know, $30 or something. Like it's expensive for a little tripod, but what I like
Mm-hmm.
about it is that when you collapse the legs, well, it's got a couple of things. When you collapse the legs, you can just hold it like a selfie stick, right? Great.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And two, it's the way the camera is actually on it is like there's like a ball with a button on the side. When you push the button, it releases the grip on the ball, so you can quickly like change the angle and things and let go, and it sticks. Like it's pretty fast.
My mic is on one of these right now, which
Yeah,
is the bendy legs, and I
I
love
find those
those
harder
so
because they're
much.
like so finicky for a camera because you're like getting it
So
level is a little
finicky.
harder. Yeah.
They can be a
So
little janky, but it's also nice because you can kind of like make it at any angle, and I can like put heavy
You
stuff on it and kind of curl it
you
around
can
yeah.
things
wrap it
with my
around
leg.
things. It's just like yeah, with mine like the cables themselves for the GoPros that I use are like so
Yeah,
heavy that like it
yeah,
ends
yeah.
up inevitably like doing this over time.
I just need like a phone tripod mount basically, which I just
Yeah.
So
have
I
to
was
order.
originally using one that came with a selfie stick on my tripod,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then it broke. So I used the broken piece to attach part of this weaving machine to the tripod, and I used that
Oh
for
my god.
until 2 months ago.
If it works, it works.
Yeah, they're
If
just
it
these
ain't
like
broke,
angled
don't fix
things.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then I used
Like
a
Amazing.
capo for my guitar to hold my phone onto it.
like
Oh, there
that's the
you
kind
go.
of thing we all like do have to do weird little hacks for random things. Like the light bulb is too big. You probably can't even see it over there to like hang down like before.
Mhm.
So I have like a weird clamp holding it sideways.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
I have my mini log, right, kind of goes up a bit, right? And then I wanted a tier above it for my audio interface and cassette player and then a light. And
yeah.
so I just have behind the mini log two empty thonk boxes and
Mhm.
a stack of PCBs from the Atari Punk console PCBs from a
Yep.
project that we were doing. I
Also,
just have them
because
spare, so currently they're a light stand.
my
For
that bookshelf behind me, like I don't read a lot of my books, but I do often use them. Like that was my kitchen table that I use, and it has a big dip in the middle. Like it's just
mm,
sinky, and so there was like a Sylvia Plath book in there for a while.
Yeah, I use books as like monitor
Yeah.
stands and stuff all the time. But like even funnier, like that the TV over there
mm.
um, is just a little bit too low if I set it on just on the table. But a couple of two by fours, not even like mounted or anything, just on their sides, and they're warped, so they're a little wobbly. It's just sat on top of
Hmm.
that. Like
That works so well though. I used to,
it's
yeah,
good
two by fours are
enough.
awesome. Just random planks of wood. I've shared my monitor stand before, which is just a cardboard IKEA box that says monitor stand on it. Just like,
Yeah, but
you
the
know,
fact that it says monitor stand on it sends it into the classy direction.
it makes it a monitor stand. I don't know what else you could say. I mean, like,
I
um,
would say if you're gonna get like a tripod for your phone, though, get one
mm,
that the hold on just a sec. I have it handy. Get one that has like a regular camera mount on it, so like the bolt on top,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then get one of these things, or if it doesn't come with it, like
That's what I just need that part because I have the
yeah,
tripod bit
yeah,
already. So I just need
yeah,
a phone mount clampy bit.
yeah. I mean, these are all
Also, because
like
I
the same, but yeah,
my whole setup is so claustrophobic. It's actually all just so crammed into a corner. Like I can't just like set up I don't have any room to put a tripod pointed at my thing or whatever because the only other space in this room is occupied by a bed.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like struggling with that too, trying to figure out like a good way to mount things so that they're like a out of the way and b like free up desk space for more cool stuff. I don't know
Yeah.
the challenge.
Yeah, I have my tripod straddling the table it's sitting on and a box of jar lids that are for
Yep.
my canning stuff. Like that's over here.
It's always stuff like I still have a massive Toman box, so maybe I could assemble some cardboard
Yeah.
thing.
We need
They
to do
sent
like
me
studio tours next once we've done a fair
Yeah,
amount of
like
like
show
the
what it actually looks like where the
uh,
camera isn't pointing. Like
yeah
We just had
That
some
is.
people over for the first time since like a year ago, and then they came in and saw like how crammed all my stuff is because that's the living room where I stream, and they're like, "It's really small."
I have, yeah, my entire. I've taken some pictures of it, but I'm not sure if people truly understand how small it is because I have to like stand on my bed at the other side
Yeah,
of the room because I'm in like a college dorm, right? So it's just like itty bitty amount of space. I've been meaning to buy. I need to buy a little table because all my DIY stuff is like on the floor. So I've got the
yeah,
modular development lab for Toadstool Tech, is just sitting in a pile right there. I have even more Eurorack in the doorway. You know, like it's everywhere. I've got a shelf that's just loose modules. I can't fit in my picnic box. And it's a whole thing. I feel like everyone has somewhere like the shelf or drawer with like loose modules. Just a couple of
yeah.
them somewhere.
I
And
like that you
also,
have a shelf or a drawer.
I have these two shelves that are in the corner of this room, and there's like a gap between them. They're like this
Yeah.
at a right angle from each other, and I had my boxes, empty module boxes,
Any,
like straddling
anyone
the
want to
two
buy
shelves.
modules?
Oh man, look at that.
So
Yeah,
the
I've just
box
got
was
like.
straddling the two shelves, and then it fell
Ooh.
down, but it caught itself and was just hanging
Oh no.
in midair, and it was like that for a month.
And that's so funny. That's not far
Oh
off from how some
shit.
of my plugged in modules are, just like dangling, but also
Yeah,
like my Cosmo modules. Like, I don't know if you can see it's right at the bottom of the screen. They're just the ones not plugged in are just like sitting on the shelf below. Um, and then
I
over there, there's a completely unplugged, like just it's powered and in use, but not like mounted in the case because I don't want to like put screw holes in until I know exactly where it's going. So that's just like
yeah.
set carefully.
I
It was
do
sitting
that.
on the box spring. Then I was like, that's made out of metal. Maybe that's not a good idea if like the
mm,
PCBs are like
Yeah.
yeah,
I do that. I do
touching.
that all the time, actually. I've actually done streams before where sometimes what I'll do is I will take out all of my modules and I'll just slot ones in without screwing them in
Yeah.
just to see what works and what I like layout wise. And sometimes I'll have like a patch going with them and I'll be like, fuck, I really need this extra thing. So I'll just plug it in and sit it on top of the bed of
it's
cables. There's a
scary.
Yeah.
stream. There's
It's
a
Yeah.
always
stream
making everybody
somewhere.
nervous.
You see
Yeah,
that
there's a
little
stream.
green
Oh,
light?
yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
cat module.
Yeah, exactly. I have two streams. For my drone dates stream, I had my SMR just unplugged and like sitting just right next to it. And then
Terrifying.
I did a synthwave stream at some point where I was like, "Oh man, I want a little extra color on my drums." So I just put like the Carson filter just like on top of the cables, plugged in behind, just like sitting there. It was just funny. It's on there somewhere if you look up Isaac the Great streams.
If you look up Isaac the Great, you'll find it eventually. We only
You'll
stream
find it.
700 times a year.
Yeah,
Um,
You'll find it. It was I think this year, so that narrows it down by 50% at least.
well,
I
yeah,
find it so hard to find like stuff I've made in the past, like that EMS promo video. The track at the end
Mm.
was something that I had played as an intro to What the Heck, and it has been stuck in my head for like months.
yeah.
And you just can't.
Could not find it. So when it was on
Mm.
there, I was like,
What?
wait, enthusiastic electrons, where did you get that?
Where'd you get it?
And
Yeah,
then
no, no,
I
no.
remade it on the Haypacks the other night. So like I can actually play it now. It's great.
Ah, nice. Yeah, that's why I think artist playlist would be really nice if there's some way. There must be some way to automate that where you can like go through the channel and just like control F someone's name and then add those
Well,
little.
you
Yeah,
can
this
actually
is.
search on the YouTube page. Like if you go to the channel, you can search within the channel, and I
Oh,
just search
can
for my
you?
name.
You can
Okay.
So
search.
that's
Yeah, I'm
I
just
gotta figure
nervous
out how to
that
do that.
it's going to end up being a lot of work for somebody. But
Yeah,
it's a
that
cool
would.
idea.
That's the other thing. It would be nice. It'd be nice if it could be automated, but I don't know if it can be
and
automated.
it's like really, I think it's a lot of work and like not particularly reliable because I think things can show up like multiple times if you do that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's not
I
clear
didn't know
if
you
you've
could
added something
search
to a
the just.
playlist just like without like clicking the add to playlist button a bunch of times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyhow, EMS is a very nice. I like EMS as a kind of like all of my live stuff being archived there is really good because I've sent people have been like, hey, can you send over some of what your live music will be like?
yeah.
And I'll just be like,
Oh, here.
yeah, here's a YouTube link, bam, and it's just like easy peasy. It's already there. It's shareable, whatever. As opposed to kind of my other system for like recorded music where I sync everything to Google. I have it so it syncs everything to Google Drive automatically. So as soon as I hit save from Audacity, it's uploaded to the cloud by backup and sync magic. And so then I can share Google Drive links, but that doesn't always work on a phone or whatever. It's not like as easy to
It's
share
also
stuff.
like a really low key to go from like rough idea to stream.
Yeah.
Like I've started streams with like one stream in particular I started with nothing. It was just a patch from scratch type thing.
I love those. They're so
And
much
by the
fun.
end of it, like the next morning I woke up and like two or three people in Discord were like, "Oh, I hope you recorded that, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh, that was must have been good." So I went back and like listened to it again and I was like, "Oh, this is really good." So I made like an actual recording of it and it's one of the ones I play regularly like in performances and stuff. Like it's a great place for that to get that instant feedback. I don't know.
It's awesome. Yeah, I love that. Sometimes I ask for like I'm like, hey, I'm working on this for. When I was working on my live set for Attack Release, I was like, hey, can someone just tell me like, are my drums at a good level? Like, what's happening here? Do you like this? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
be nice.
That's yeah. I think it's a good for me like place to like just experiment, play around, and have fun. Versus like if I'm streaming to my channel or YouTube, like I feel more pressure to have like something that's more like listenable than me just talking and being
Official
like, I'm
content.
gonna plug this into there. Except it's like muffled because I'm using the
Yeah.
crappy phone. So all I do is and I
Mm.
don't the bass line or
Baseline.
like people at Twitch are like, what are you doing?
I love it. Great.
Unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe. Give me back my
Oh, there's room for me
$5.
to put that on the wall.
Oh, you should put un right there.
Fun.
Yes, un. You can have it as like a sign that you flip up sometimes when someone gets an
Yeah.
email. You just like
That's pretty
point at the
good.
Oh,
thing.
like
It's
an
like,
open. I'm totally doing that. Doing that. Thank you.
or
I
you could do
appreciate.
like an LED display that would be like you click it on and it's just like unsubscribe in red.
I'm just gonna use like a piece of cardboard and flip it around.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a closed open sign.
Put
Yeah.
Put a dowel at the bottom so you can just reach up and flip the
Smiley
cardboard over.
face.
Yeah.
Smiley face on one side, on the other.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Oh, that's brilliant. You're a genius. We're out of things to talk about now, so
We've run out. I think more cassettes. I found some really. I can share some really weird cassettes I've acquired recently because I found some strange things.
what is in your? I'll share my entire cassette collection if you share a couple of yours.
All right. Well, we've got Gondwana Land. Let the Dogs Out.
Hold on, I'm gonna
a-
make you bigger somehow.
Oh, yeah,
I think I have to
sure.
do this and like
Maybe
maybe
if
this.
If
Yes.
I move my light away, the glare. No, the glare's still pretty bad. Okay.
That's okay. It's
That's a
part
little
of the
better.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
So this is Gondwana Land. Let the Dog Out. It is synthesizer and didgeridoo. Entirely.
Ooh.
It is the cover. Also, the J card kind of flips out to just have this really funny. Stretch of a dog.
Wait, can you do me a favor and just like hold that at an angle until it looks right?
Oh yeah, let's see.
Right around
That's
there.
about good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So that's a weird one. Yeah, there's didgeridoos, keyboard, and percussion. It's not very good, but it's cool that it exists. I appreciate
I get
it
that.
for
Yeah.
being there. Other weird things I have. This is one of my favorite cassettes of all time. Spyro Gyra Carnival.
Cool.
Fusion jazz. It's objectively horrible, cheesy, but I love it so much. I love it. It's so near and dear to my heart.
I've been really into jazz fusion lately.
Jazz fusion is so good. I love it so much. Like Cassiopeia, that kind of
Like
thing.
all
It's
the musicians are just so good at it, and everybody's having a great
Totally.
time. Like, yeah.
If you've ever seen all the Spyro Gyra guys, they just look like they're just dudes having fun, you know?
Yeah.
It's
We need
great.
this. We need this in 2022.
It's totally like non-toxic masculinity or whatever.
Yeah. Or like
Uh,
the cover with the guy jumping out of a plane, and he's going.
Yeah. Oh yeah. With
Yeah.
Takanaka or whatever.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
Another one I have is the X-Files theme on cassette.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is it just the
that
X-Files
one would
theme?
definitely get us a copyright
Did they
strike.
fill it?
Oh no.
Did
Okay.
anything
So
else?
here's the best thing about this cassette is that it has the original version, right? But then it has the terrestrial mix, which is a techno
Oh.
remix of the X-Files theme.
Oh.
And it is so good. You have no... Look up right the hell now, anyone watching the X-Files theme terrestrial mix. You'll have your mind blown. Yeah, Mark Snow. It's by the same guy even. Because I remember when I was a kid, my parents used to play me a lot of like they played me Pure Moods, if you know that
I have
thing.
that ad memorized.
Oh my god, it's great.
Ad.
They would like that was like when I was like a baby, they would play me that. I also have Enya, Best of Enya on here. So
Oh my
Oh.
god, no wonder you turned out the way you did. That's not supposed to be insulting.
But on Pure Moods, there is the DJ Dido remix of the X-Files theme. That is really good as well. So all of that is fantastic, really.
Oh yes, the
Other
Unsolved
th-
Mysteries intro would be very easy and awesome to remake.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
that was one of my pandemic things, was watching Unsolved Mysteries from the beginning because all the episodes are on YouTube. Till
oh
my
my god,
anxiety
that's
started to get
amazing.
too bad because of all the murders and stuff. But
I
partway
can't
through,
watch.
they lost the rights to their own song and they had to change the
Oh
song. And the
no!
new
Oh,
song is
that's
so
sad.
bad.
Yeah, no, anxiety. I feel like anxiety with TV is a real thing. I've been getting into Breaking Bad, and I can take it in very, very tiny slices because it makes me anxious.
Oh my god,
Um,
that show is I think some folks find it slow moving, but if you're somebody who like really gets invested, like I think you do and I do, like that show is just anxiety, and I
it's
loved that show.
it's
So much
great. It
anxiety.
moves so fast. There's so much happening, and it stresses me the fuck out. I love it, but it
Did you ever watch?
stresses me out.
Did you ever watch Orphan Black? That one started giving me car chase dreams, and I had to stop.
Oh Jesus!
I love that show, but I was like, ah, I'm like in a weird espionage situation.
Um, Another good one if you like kind of not unsolved mysteries but less violent is I used to watch In Search of with Leonard Nimoy as a lot. My dad like raised me on that. The In Search of theme song is really good. It's like it's so good. Look up the In Search of theme song as well. I'll put it in the chat. Hell, hold on. Give me
I
one
also
second.
put the terrestrial mix on in the chat already.
Yes.
I'm
In
getting my
Search of
entire
those.
tape collection in just a second, just because I thought we'd share.
Yeah, no. In Search of was Leonard Nimoy of Star Trek fame. His 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 show where it just kind of goes over like these like various mysteries. They'll have an episode about like the Loch Ness monster or Bigfoot sightings or like really like the Bermuda Triangle, that kind of thing. But then they have
So-
other ones where it's like there's an episode about like playing music to plants, and that
Okay,
kind of thing.
so it's not. It's kind of more of just the paranormal section of Unsolved Mysteries, though.
Basically, there's no real murders. It's not violent. It's pretty G-rated in general, but really really good show. Really good show. I highly recommend.
My
In
favorite
Search of.
Unsolved Mysteries scene was they were interviewing people about the Ogopogo, which is the Canadian sea monster in Kelowna,
Oh,
and
nice.
they had this expert who's like looking at these two photos, and he's like, "It's clearly the Ogopogo," and this other guy's like, "That's just a picture of a beaver." And then they show a picture of a beaver doing the same thing, and it's totally a picture of a beaver.
That's amazing. Oh my god.
That's cool. That's cool.
Mystery solved. I mean,
Yeah.
Another one I found recently was this is pretty cool. Wings of Time. This is
that's a good cover.
Sephardic Jewish like chanting and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. That'd be
My
cool.
family is Sephardic Jews, and so I was like, I need this. And
That'd be really cool.
it's like Spanish Jews basically. There's dulcimer on here.
I love dulcimers.
Yeah, it's
Ah.
so weird, but cool. I thought it would be immensely sampleable or something you could just play on really slowly in the background of a track, that kind of thing.
Next time I will do a show and tell of my old weird records.
You
Yeah.
should do music collection show. Anything else I have in here? Hiroshima Odori. This is like kind of Japanese
You have so many
retro
tapes.
jazz fusion.
Ah!
This is like half my collection. I have the rest of it is at home. I have mostly blanks. Is actually my favorite thing to collect. Blank cassettes. Hold on, I've got 3.
They got such
The
good
designs. Oh, go. Yeah, I was
The
gonna
designs
say.
are so good. All
I
right.
agree with Forrestine. It's all about the blank cassette packaging.
Ah! Yeah, that's
I mean, look
perfect.
at that. Isn't
Have you
that
seen the ad
beautiful?
for that one with all the shapes floating around? It's really good.
Oh my god, I have it. Yes, the Maxwell
Oh, sorry,
C90s.
I didn't realize we're not all the same size anymore. Let me fix that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's great.
That looks so good.
Yeah, all of them are
I
good.
picked up one of these recently.
Yes.
I just love the ball. Look at the orb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Scotch videotape boxes were also
Hmm.
very good.
Yeah.
this one's pretty plain, but still cool.
Yeah.
Phillips. I have two of these. I bought two of these. One of them so I could keep it sealed, and the other one so I could open it up and actually use it
Yeah,
as a blank.
I'm
So.
gonna pick up some more blanks for sure because I'm gonna record some stuff. But
They're cool. You find they're weirdly expensive sometimes, but you know, it depends.
The
They're
one
really
exciting
cool to
thing
get.
about maybe getting a tape player working is I do have two mixtapes I made in high school that we were using to test it.
Oh.
So I'll be able to write out the track list.
well, that's one of these tapes is I would say it's a mixtape. Um, yeah, it's technically a mixtape that my mother made for Christmas. So it's got like Elvis Christmas songs and other
Oh
random stuff
man,
she liked like two
that's
decades ago or something.
that's great. Okay,
Um,
last two cassettes from the collection. Isao Tomita
Yeah.
Cosmos. This is really good stuff. It's like covers of a bunch of sci-fi. So there's uh, like a Moog cover of the Star Wars main title of
yeah.
um Zarathustra, Ride of the Valkyries. You know,
Is there a good
um,
good headshot of him in front of a giant synthesizer? Because there is on my Tomito record.
maybe it's in the J card. Let's see. No, we just get a very large bio
uh,
about it, and this awesome cover. I mean,
like
I
that's the
love it.
problem. Like Heck can do it. He's doing it right now, but like I can't do like an album cover where I'm standing intimidatingly in front of a giant synth because it's
Yeah,
little.
just so
Yeah,
small.
Wait, other way.
Screen cap it.
that way. Yeah. Oh,
Subscribe.
quick, quick, quick. Wait, do it
uh, uh, very last one is Bitch and Baja's Baja Laters.
Whoa,
That's
that's
That
a
a
good
is
sweet
cover.
cover. Hold
well.
on, I'm gonna make you big again. Where's that
Oh
button?
yeah,
I'm bigging you
this
because that
one's got a
one's
lot of
really
glare
cool.
because it's brand new. I just bought this
Cool.
at the record store. There's a
Cool.
really cool record store here in Glasgow called Mixed Up Records that they had like every Boards of Canada LP and like the reissues and all the
Oh,
Aphex Twin and Warp stuff.
I just
Yo,
got
I
the
just want
Geo
to say
Gotti
like, oh,
LP.
go ahead.
Oh, I just got the Geo Gotti LP and it's got 3 discs and it's just beautiful.
Awesome. Oh, it's great.
When I was in Glasgow, I was absolutely blown away. Like it's the music scene there is like pretty hopping. Like there's a lot of good access to both gear and music.
Yeah, I'm really glad I went into that record store with the resolve to not purchase any records because I don't have a vinyl player and I have sworn myself to never collect vinyl just on account of having moved my father's collection
Yeah, you don't want to
before.
move it again. Like,
I
I get it.
never want to move it again. Ever
I have
again.
two
No,
shelves, and if I have more than that, I need to get rid of something.
Yeah.
I totally respect people who collect records and I think
Yeah.
records are fucking awesome. I will not collect them myself. I will stick to cassettes. They're tiny.
Hmm.
Also,
There's a
records are kind of smelly and off
Yeah, they're
gassy.
dusty.
They
Yeah,
are,
they're
I mean,
toxic. Yeah. I love thrifting records. Most of my record collection is completely unlistenable weird things. And there's a new record store on in my neighborhood that is all used records and they actually keep the weird shit in there that is like only talking or somebody complaining about
it's good
fluoridated
stuff.
water from 1950 or like there's a
Oh my
whole
god.
section for Moog stuff and it had like all kinds of weird synth things in it. Like they
Oh
actually
my
still
god.
sell those. It makes me very
That
happy.
that's awesome. I mean, that's something I always love about like I mean, the best record pulls when you're digging or whatever, or cassette pulls as well, are always at like in Texas like half price books or whatever,
Yeah.
kind of like bookstores that happen to have stuff or whatever, where it's just like stuff people have donated. It hasn't gone through someone who's gonna like discogs every single thing that they see
No.
and like it's like, oh yeah, this is whatever. Because then sometimes you'll find something that's like totally incredible and you'll be like, oh yeah, it's $3.
Leonard!
Yo, wow, yeah. Does that have the insertion theme on it, or does it have?
Oh my
Oh my
God,
god.
Leonard!
It has the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins is the
Yes!
first song, which if you've ever seen
Ah!
that video is a trip.
Oh my
Wonderful.
god. Amazing. I
Um,
love Leonard Nimoy.
Also, if anyone has
Yeah.
ever heard that David Bowie song from before he was the David Bowie called The Laughing Gnome, I recommend it.
I think
It's
I have.
terrible.
Oh my god. That sounds amazing.
It's very
That
similar to
sounds.
the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins as far as like aesthetic is concerned.
Oh my god.
What song were you looking for? Sorry.
In search
The
of.
theme from In Search of, or any of the music from In Search of,
I
it
don't
could be
think
there.
so. These are like this is
I
like
think that's a little too old to have that on it.
yeah,
Maybe.
it's a
Yeah.
weird album that I've listened
Yeah, that's
to
fair.
in its entirety multiple times.
Yeah. In Search of is a cool show. You guys should all watch In Search of. I think a lot of it is on YouTube. Um,
It was $5.
hey, there you go. Yeah, yeah. They had Axel. The other thing is, I might, if I was to collect any records, 45s are pretty cool. Like 7 inches are pretty nice. They had like 2 or 3 copies of Harold Faltermeyer's Axel F at the place I was at the other day. This is a pretty good one to have on LP as well. But yeah.
All right. What else? I'm trying to think.
What
Oh,
else?
yeah. Here's. I'm gonna go through quickly all of my tape cassettes
Yes.
that are
let's see your
actual like
cassettes.
playable, not like tape loops. We have the DEF CON soundtrack from
Nice.
DEF CON Safe Mode, the year they did it online. We have this is also the badge, by the way, so you'd rig it up and like hang it around your neck if you felt like it. But
That's awesome.
the Look Mom No Computer bootleg
Oh
tape,
shit.
which is usually out by my soldering because it's like pretty good stuff to solder to. But my tape deck out there is like
Mm-hmm.
sort of like got an LFO going to the Vera speed on the player, so it's
Yeah.
like somewhat unlistenable, and I don't want to mess up the tape. So
I should try and get one of those. Did you get that
and
at the
then
museum?
mixtape. No, I didn't. The only thing I got from the museum was a Cosmo shirt, which I'll be wearing later today, and
Nice.
another fart box PCB because Kia wanted to build one.
Nice.
And what else? Oh, the spring reverb that's sitting right there. Not the actual
Yeah.
spring reverb tank itself, just like a prototype for the module
Cool.
somewhere in there. Yeah.
Nice.
I just got down 2 records that I got to put on the wall and not to listen to.
Yeah.
As K-Tel.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
hold on.
Yes.
Gotta rearrange and do one of these. That cover's too good. Look at that.
Very
Look at
good.
that hair in the bottom right. Top
So good.
diamond.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. All of those
As
diamonds are gold.
advertised on radio and TV.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
and then it's got this
Feeling.
ridiculous font in the back. It's just like,
Oh my
it's
goodness.
and then the other ones. This one doesn't even have a record in it.
Oh my goodness.
Netflix. And the power of the women folk. Oh my god.
I love
What
how
is
he's
that
just
guy do?
falling
Oh,
on his ass like real hard. Like,
Yeah,
they
what-
like
It's supposed to
puppeteering
be
him.
marionette strings.
Oh,
yeah, okay,
he's not
that's it.
falling.
I
He's a
see.
puppet.
Yeah,
He's a
Puppet
puppet.
Man.
I like the guitars also just lined up along the ground. Like
Yeah.
they should be. Shouldn't they be playing this?
We need to show on the tin what is happening, and he plays on the guitar. So
Versatility. Thy name is Women Folk.
Yes. That'd make a really good T-shirt. That'd make a.
I have no Celine. None. 0% Celine.
yeah, I only have a Celine T-shirt, and I'm pretty sure she didn't make any money off of that one. So
Oh God.
Celine would be a good one to get on tape, though.
Yeah, definitely. I need to
It's
just
fun
look.
to
I'm
Vera
always,
speed her.
I always pop in there. The cassette place I go through does actually charge for good cassettes, so sometimes I'll find when I find good like the Portishead thing wasn't that inexpensive, but you know.
It was like the
When I-
music store that was in the neighborhood before this new record store opened. My friend found a Soundgarden tape in the bargain bin and bought it, and the person at the counter was like, "You found it in there? It wasn't supposed to be in there."
Yeah, that's great. Too late, no backsies.
Yep.
It is what it is, you know.
Yeah, cassettes are rad.
that's a
Physical
good
media is
find.
rad.
I agree. I mostly buy like I don't buy records really at all anymore, but outside of like the occasional like I want to support an artist, like if Look Mom No Computer's like I'm coming out with a limited edition vinyl that comes with this crazy janky machine you can build. Like, of
Then you'll
course I'm
buy
gonna
that.
buy
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
right? Like,
totally.
and actually I did that last time and bought. Well, I got one. It's the Atari Punk. Sorry, I never know which way to
Punk, punk,
point.
punk
A
console.
a
Punk
a
Punk, yeah, that
a.
console. Like, it's really cool. It's the circle thing up there. But the second one was the Circle Synth of Doom, and I didn't know what it was, but I got it anyway. And when I realized it was just like it's just essentially a mini Mega Drone, like just like I think it was
Oh,
six or
nice.
so. I was like, well, I'm just gonna give this to like somebody else had been wanting to build a Mega Drone. I was like, you can just have this. Here you go. Like,
He's a mini drone.
yeah, like I have a Mega Drone. It's never leaving my system, and it is like queued up and ready to go for this afternoon. So
Nice.
Yay! Tell
Can't
us
wait to hear
about
it.
this afternoon, maybe.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Self promo, blah blah blah. I hate doing this stuff, but I'm playing at Spookfest, which I already talked about a little bit. I think my set's at 1:30 Mountain, so let's see, 2.5 hours from now. For those of you watching, and it'll be recorded and probably like they'll post it later. So if you don't catch it live, but I'm hoping that if any of y'all show up, like we can do the best we can to make the chat absolutely impossible to read. I
Yeah.
want it to be as much spam. Like I want everybody to start getting like spam checks against them. Like
Let's
you've
do it.
posted too many times. You
Yes.
have to cool down for a minute. Like that kind of
Yes.
stuff. That's my goal. Um,
Heck yeah,
get it
heck yeah,
rowdy.
heck yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah.
But well, I'm really excited for it because last time, like Magpie Fest 3, which was in I think 2021, was the first non EMS place I think I streamed that was like a festival. That was like a really big deal for me. And I worked really hard on that set. And one of the things I had done was make some oscilloscope music, which was really like hard to do and to set up and to film and all of that. Because the way I had to do it, I didn't have like a good sampler that could play back stereo, things like that. So I had to like have like Ableton Live open in my streaming stuff, and my computer was just like not having that. It would like regularly like crash. So it's like fingers crossed it'll work, and it worked perfectly the entire set. But I forgot to like twist the little knob on my oscilloscope to show the cool visualization until like the very
Ah,
end. But anyway, as a callback, I am not playing the same song. I'm playing a completely different track. But there is heavy oscilloscope use, and I'm using the Dirty Wave M8 to handle the samples, and it's just brilliant at that. Um,
yeah,
and
awesome,
it's
man.
it's so easy to like swap samples and pitch shift. It's something that I could post the festival if I want to play this song again on like a not Halloween day. I could like put my own uh, different visuals in. And like there's spooky visuals right now, but
The ones I saw looked amazing. It looks like that's working really well.
yeah, I think it'll be okay. It's a little funky. Like I did some tests just to see how it looks, and it's really funny when I'm looking at it through OBS. Even though the cameras are supposed to be coming in at 30 FPS, I think it's probably 60, despite my settings. But when I look at it on like a recorded output video or like something that lowers the frame rate down a little bit, um, you can actually see the traces a lot clearer. So instead of like drawing,
Mm.
well, it's a pumpkin, right? Instead of drawing a pumpkin and seeing a pumpkin, you'd see like most of a pumpkin, like,
It's
and it's
got
very
more
flashy.
frame.
So like I don't know if it's going to do that or not on the stream. If it does, oh well.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to do the like flashing warning thing, but um, yeah, should be fun. So yeah.
Totally sick.
And then the following two tracks, that's the bulk of the performance, is that one track. The following two tracks y'all have probably heard before, because I'm lame. I kept wanting to write more, but I was like, I'm just running out of time and I need to have something. So a tape for
Yeah.
Axel F. Oh, that would be so cool. That was my ringtone on my phone until recently when I got a new phone. Now I need to figure out how to get that again.
Ah, yeah. I should have bought that Axel F7-inch just to put up somewhere.
That'd be sick. That's one of my
Cool.
favorites. Can we talk about Elvis for a second?
What about Elvis?
What about Elvis?
What about him?
Yeah. Yeah. So I never knew much about Elvis. He was just like that guy, like my parents liked, and like the other people that are not my generation seem to like. And I never got why. Because like for me, he was like a sweaty dude in a jumpsuit that would like die in a bad way. And I was like, I don't know why. It's like the Beatles. Like when you think of the beat, like I thought of the Beatles as like kind of a lame band for a long time until you actually
Yeah,
like
like a
listen to
lot
their
of people just
albums.
go Basak or
Well, because you
whatever.
just see
Like,
that
listen
clip
to
of
the
them on
songs
like
or
a
whatever.
show and like all their
Yeah,
suits and they're just like dee 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 dee, you know, like that's not, yeah, the
yeah.
really
Or
the
they're like, I
Beatles.
get the idea. I know what this is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had the same vibe with Elvis, but like recently for reasons I've been looking more into Elvis stuff and I watched like some documentaries. I watched Bubba Hotep. I watched
I love Bubba
uh
Hotep.
yeah, I watched the new Elvis movie it happened to be
Yeah, I
on.
was gonna
And
say
like
I remember that coming
Yes,
out.
Bubba Hotep is absolutely historically canon. It's fine.
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. So like for those of you not familiar, you can watch like I don't know the new one or like the documentary and then follow it with Bubba Hotep so you know how it actually ended. Um I'm not going to spoil it for you. That's just like a good anyway. Uh but I was amazed. Like he was a really quite talented artist with like a lot more progressive views than I ever expected from like a jeweled up guy in Vegas, right? And it just made me really sad because like he was sort of the precedent for like managers and labels messing people up.
Oh yeah, that was awful. Uh, Also, look into Big Mama Thornton, who did Hound Dog before he did. And she's awesome.
Yes, yes. There
Mm.
was actually a nod to that, I think, in the newest movie, because like it was clear that he did not write the song in the movie.
Yeah, and it used to be about a man, not a dog. That made
Yes,
more
yes,
sense.
yes. Well, I always assumed it was talking about a man. Just yeah, but
I don't know. He ain't nothing but a hound man. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue as much.
nothing but a hound man.
Yeah.
Well, he had to no homo it and make it about an animal. It's fine.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It
I
was the
mean,
50s. People
anyway,
still do that.
so for folks who are like unfamiliar with Elvis, like do give him a listen at some point. Like that was definitely on my list of people I'd never cared about, but now I'm like, oh, they were actually pretty good. And the same went with Beatles. Like
Yeah,
I
Mm.
think the Beatles documentary in particular that was fairly recent was I was
I still need
like,
to see that one.
I've heard
okay,
good
like
things about it.
I
I
was
haven't
already
watched it.
convinced before that, but that like very much put me over the top, and I listened to a bunch more after that. I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
they were my
they
Yeah.
special
got some
interest
vibe.
for most of elementary school, and that didn't
Yeah,
make me very cool. So
yeah.
No, I've
All
always
right,
really liked the Beatles as well.
yeah.
Mm.
So
They're great.
check out Spookfest. You know what? I don't think I actually even dropped the link.
oh yeah, post the link.
Put
Let's
it
do that.
in Stream Punks before you play too, just so we can be reminded. Because
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best. You know how it is. Like when
Yeah,
nerds hit, sometimes you forget stuff. So
Mm.
I'll do my best.
we also know the time, so maybe one of us will remember.
Maybe.
Yeah. Let's see who's playing now. I'm just double checking that the times line up. you know. Oh yeah,
You
I
were
think.
supposed to play 1 hour and 9 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm still. Yeah, about a little over 2 hours from now.
Oh, the other cool thing about Big Mama Thornton is then she started saying "Bow Wow to You Too" after the song. She was
Yeah.
directed at Elvis.
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, Elvis has some like cool stuff. Like they like I didn't realize he had like there was a moment there was the what's that Straight Outta Compton was
Mhm.
another like dramatized movie about uh NWA. And there's a moment in the video where like the police are like basically waiting to arrest them if they decide to play fuck the police. And they did got arrested, right? uh, Elvis did something like that too. It was like pretty cool to see. Similar situation. His was like definitely like they were like, you wiggle too much on stage, it's too sexual and perverse, like, and he's like, beep, 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 and then they like fully arrested him, like took him down.
arrest
Then he
you
had to
for
go.
wiggling.
Then he had to go to war. Like he had to go to the military service for 2 years for doing that. Like that was
Oh
his
my
out
god.
to get
Jesus.
straight and narrow. And then after that, he was more mellow. But anyway, have a good rest of your day. Sorry about the
Yeah.
Elvis talk. It's just been top of mind right now.
Oh, I can play us out if we want. I have
Don't
some
be
Yes.
sorry
options.
about Elvis. I was just explaining what Bubba Hotep is in the chat
I
because it's
can
a
play us
bit
out.
baffling as an item.
Yeah. Yeah. Bubba Hotep's about Elvis and JFK
Yeah,
Mm.
fighting a
it's
mummy
historically accurate,
It's
in an old
totally.
folks'
completely
home.
factual, realistic.
It's
Okay.
canon.
Totally canon. I'm gonna see if
All
I can
right.
like
Let's see. I have to like
scooch
do
my
this
camera
and then
over it.
like
Let's see.
make
Does
Isaac
that?
real big.
Oh,
And
does
then
that
we'll just
work
be
at
talking
all?
heads.
Might not work at all. Hold on. You can get a little bit of keyboard. I don't think I can do much more than that.
No, 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 no.
Just
This
nice
is
to sit on my
perfect. This is
laptop.
perfect. Well,
Let's
it's
see if
good
this.
enough.
All right.
Thank you, y'all, for coming to another episode of What the Heck. See you next week, probably. If you want to ever be on it and talk about a thing,
A thing.
let me know. We don't even have to talk about Elvis. We can talk about anything.
You
Or
know, another
modular. We're
thing.
supposed to talk about modular.
Another thing though is that I noticed that I listen to music differently as a musician than I used to.
Yeah. That messes with me sometimes, yeah. I'm like, oh, they use way too much compression on that side chain. Blah blah blah. Like,
Oh,
who am I
usually
to
it
talk?
just makes me more impressed about whatever.
Yeah, that's usually the case with me too. It sounds great, Isaac.
Yeah, this.
I'm just gonna shut my app.
This is the most soothing outro ever.